Hello.
That was a very quiet hello because I'm worried about the microphone. I think I've said it too high, so we couldn't do a shouty hello as is our tradition on other podcasts, but we did a quiet hello because this is a laid-back kind of show.
Yeah.
It's called Everything versus Everything. Actually, it's not that laid. The theme tune is not really very laid back. Actually, it's quite epic.
I like the theme tune.
If you came here because of the theme tune, then you're going to be disappointed by the actual content, which is just us talking about
Everything.
stuff. Yeah.
Versus everything.
Versus everything. So this is a show where we attempt to answer the big questions in life, mostly to do with what is better than what else, if that makes sense as a sentence. That sentence would score quite low on our list of things. Today I'm here with two people. Oh, my name's Alex, by the way. I should really know to say that by now, but I don't.
And it's me, Ewan. Hello, listeners. I'm here today as well. Thank you, Alex.
Sorry, I probably should have said something about you rather than just getting you to introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm James, and I'm here as well.
Well, that's good. We were going to have a slightly more gender-balanced team of people here today, but we failed in that pursuit because we don't know any girls. So we do actually know one, but she's not here. So
we know more than one.
She was going to come and she didn't. So
we know more than one now.
You know your wife.
Yeah, actually, that's true. Yeah, actually, we're doing pretty well.
Yeah, we're doing all right.
Should we call one of them just to prove it? Because now it seems like we really don't know.
No, let's just hopefully they've got something.
Worse. That was like we're trying too hard.
Okay.
I'm one of them. It's me. Hello.
Oh, hello.
Goodbye. Yes, that was one of our friends, lady friends. Bye bye.
Lisa.
Yep. Maybe she'll come back later. Yeah.
Know.
Nice person.
So the podcast is structured in a very sensible way. We bring in various things. Each person here has selected a few things that they would like to talk about, and we discuss those things. And then we decide where they'll be placed on our list of things, which goes in order from best to worst. And this list is going to grow over the course of these episodes until it's just ridiculously unmanageable, and you can't even say it all on one episode. So that'll be interesting when we get to that point. But at the moment, it's blank. I have a blank sheet of paper here with nothing written on it, so we need to start filling that. And the first way that we're going to do that is in a section that I like to call Bring a Thing, where each person who's on the podcast brings a thing, and it can be anything that they want. It's very simple. Who wants to offer their thing to be the first thing on our list of things?
I don't mind. I can offer mine.
Okay, what is yours, James?
I worry slightly that I'm setting the tone for the whole thing forevermore here, so please don't take it that way. And I also worry I'm going to be too serious with this one, because this is the thing that I really like. For my first thing, I have chosen the city of Berlin, which I guess I don't have to place it anywhere on the list yet, do I? Because it's just going to be the first thing.
We do. We place everything as it goes along, so I'll write that down. And at the moment, that is now the best and the worst thing in the world simultaneously.
Wow.
It's the only thing that's going to have that honour in this whole process.
Yeah, so the city of Berlin. Good job, city of Berlin.
Yay!
Should I talk about what I like about it?
Yeah, go on.
Yes, please.
I mean, I've been there once, but I don't know as much about it as you do.
I've been once as well.
Yeah, well, it's my favourite place in the world outside of Edinburgh. I really like it. It's got an amazingly interesting history to it, with the wall and the Cold War and everything. And I just love the place. It's great for wandering around. You can get the subway out to amazing woods and lakes just in next to no time as well. So you can get out of the city itself. The beer's amazing, and I like the food in Germany as well. I like meat, and they're big on their meat and their different sausages and so on. So,
Bratwursts.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's a convincing case. I liked it from when I was there. In terms of ranking it against everything else in the world, I think there are a few things that probably like bump it down a notch or two. Like, I mean, as a vegetarian, the meat stuff is like a negative for me. So I'm like, actually,
I understand that.
Well, it's all up for
It's the moral
negotiation,
question.
I guess. At this
Yeah.
point.
I really liked Berlin when I went as well. I went during a sort of travels around Europe kind of thing, and it was probably my favourite place I visited in my travels around Europe, which is pretty good, I think. The weather's lovely there in the summer.
That's true. I've only ever been there in the summer and the weather is really nice. Although I've been keeping track of the weather there again because I've got a trip there booked, and the weather at the moment is actually worse than here. So it does have some like not so good points.
I remembered
so-
what I was going to say, which
Yeah.
is a potential negative, which is the main station there is impossible to navigate.
It's
When we
pretty
arrived-
massive.
When we arrived there
Yeah.
first, me and my mum, we just kind of wandered around for about an hour just trying to work out where to go. Eventually we just had to ask someone who thankfully spoke English, which is another
Yeah,
nice thing
I
about
think-
it. Most people seem to there.
Yeah.
My experience.
Yeah, I mean, I've had problems with the getting around by train, to be honest. Like, there was one time I arrived at the airport, and I can't remember how I eventually got to the city centre, because I went into the station at the airport, and none of the ticket machines seemed to want to accept any of my money. None of them would take my cards. None of them would take my Euro banknotes, and I didn't have any Euro coins, because I'd only just arrived. So I can't remember what I did eventually. I must have, bought something to get change or something like that. But yeah, and I did find it a bit confusing as well, knowing how to get there. So yeah, it's not all
It's
positives.
not perfect, but
No.
nowhere is.
I just thought it was an interesting starting point.
It's
Yeah.
it's a really fascinating city.
Yes,
and it's got
yes.
such a, it's probably a city that's got some of the most like history to it,
I
both
think
like
that's true.
from medieval to older times, all the way up to like recent history.
Yes, yes.
Not all of it positive.
No.
Oh no, absolutely not.
And in fact, like, because when I was in Berlin, I did go on one of those like city tour kind of things that sort of walk you around the different places and that kind of stuff. And the woman that was taking it, she told us how like, in a way, the city's unfortunately suffered a lot because of history. I mean, obviously, because of history, they were on a bad side to be on. But from World War One, World War Two, then the Cold War, Berliners have been through a lot of stuff that's affected
Yes.
them, and probably they've not all been like supporting of the stuff that's happened, kind of thing. If you were a liberal person living in Berlin, you had very bad luck for a lot of the time.
I mean, obviously there were lots of people just waiting for an excuse to break the wall down. That's what it seems like from my very flaky knowledge of history.
Yes,
It
I
seemed
think,
like
I think that's true.
people were kind of sick of it. It wasn't like they were all happy in that little slice of dystopia.
Definitely not. But they now like almost
nice now.
claimed it back and
Yeah.
like made it an art murals. It's really beautiful to see some of the actual art they've done on the
It
wall.
amazes
and
me.
that
I think
kind of
that's
stuff.
one of the things I like about it and find so inspiring about it is knowing how dark some of the history was back in World War II especially, and knowing how divided it was recently. Just seeing how lovely it is now. How you realise how how much it's changed and how much it's changed in a really positive way, because you would never imagine now, if you didn't know the wall had been there, if you didn't stumble across one of the few remaining sections, you would never know that Berlin was divided like that less than 30 years ago. It really doesn't.
It's very
seem it.
reassuring in today's political climate.
It is.
Maybe in 30 years' time we'll be free of the nightmare we're stumbling into right now.
Yeah.
But anyway,
Anyway.
let's escape from that.
Yeah, let's escape from that.
Okay, so we've got the city of Berlin on our list now.
Yay,
We've
Berlin.
given it a good little talk about, but we can talk about it more if it comes up in the context of comparing it to something
Yes,
else.
Definitely.
So
What's
another thing to compare it to?
what's the famous line that JFK said? Like, Ich bin Berliner or something?
Ich bin ein Berliner.
There we go. That's a nice way of sending off, in a sense.
Okay, yeah, nice. You're good at this. You should be hosting.
No.
Can you host this?
Yeah,
I'm
no.
such a hash of the opening segment. I feel like I should palm it off on you. You're good at it. You get this little segue there. It's awesome. Okay, so what would you like to bring to the Bring a Thing section?
Yeah, so I think I'll bring Nessie.
Nessie.
Let's bring
Oh.
the old Loch Ness Monster onto the fray.
Oh, excellent.
Now, I've got to say, I'm not too prepared. I'm sure there's like loads of stuff we could probably go into Nessie about. But having a little kind of chat about it is a good sort of thing. Because I've been to Loch Ness twice. once with you guys and once on a sort of tour bus kind of thing, and it is kind of quite fascinating, like the legends of Loch Ness and the fact that people are still interested today about it. Like there's webcams pointed at Loch Ness just in case Nessie pops up.
I've been to Loch Ness a few times as well. I remember the first time we went, or at least the first time I remember, was when I was about 16 on a family holiday, and we went to Drumnadrochit, which is the town down near Urquhart Castle, where they had I couldn't stop laughing at this, they had 2 Loch Ness Monster visitor centres in Drumnadrochit, and one of them was the official one. So we went to the official one as opposed to the other one. And I couldn't help thinking, in what sense is this official? I mean, did the monster herself come out and endorse this one visitor centre as opposed to the other one? So, but anyway, the official in the title was enough to make us go to that one rather than the other one.
Yeah, it works, doesn't it?
It does.
Yeah.
There's some more confidence.
Yeah, I mean, it's obviously a very core part of our culture. In case you're listening from elsewhere in the world and don't know where we're from, we're actually in the land of Nessie right now.
That's right.
Scotland, that is. Yeah, so we're probably biased about this one, to be honest. And we've grown up with the legends of Nessie.
Well, it's weird because
echoing in our ears.
Yeah, because Nessie as a legend, it's just there's a monster in that lake, in that loch. It's not like there's a story.
It's not very fleshed out. Let's get into it now. Let's start tearing this thing apart.
Yeah.
It's not very fleshed out as a legend, really, is
No,
it?
not really.
But then again, like, we know that it's like every country or culture has their own kind of mythical monster in a sense.
Yeah, that's true.
And the Loch Ness Monster is ours. Because like you look at sort of like Native Americans have like the Wendigo and that kind of stuff. Americans have Yetis and Sasquatch and Bigfoot. There's some sort of strange goat creatures in Russia, I think I was hearing about the other day, and that kind of stuff. Not as like news or something, but that's like one of their traditional monsters from folklore and that kind of stuff. The English have like fairies and the
The Beast of Bob Moore and things like that.
Yeah, I mean, it's a worldwide thing, really, but like Nessie is our one. So
and I think people like Nessie, like tourists like Nessie.
It seems to be popular. It's one of the more popular, like, national legends.
National monsters, I guess.
Yeah, I think so.
Like, people come over and get, like, plush Nessies.
Yeah, it's kid-friendly.
Yeah, it is.
I mean, you see, like, how Americans do it with, like, Sasquatch hunters and that kind of thing. It's a bit more kind of, whoa, sort of thing.
Yeah.
It's a more kind of niche, I think.
I
Well,
guess.
Nessie, everyone can kind of embrace.
It's a bit of a sort of whimsical thing as well. It's like, it's not that scary. Well, I guess you could find it scary if you were younger, but like, it's more just kind of, oh, Nessie, like, it's got a fun, like, little nickname.
Yeah.
You know, you get smiling Nessies on, like, t-shirts and stuff, and
They're, like, got behind,
you
like,
don't get that with every legendary monster.
Yeah, they'll have, like, the Scottish flag behind them, and they'll be wearing, like, the kind of the piper's hat and that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I mean, you could accuse it of being a bit, like...
Tourist trappy?
Yeah, like a bit tacky, some of the...
Yeah,
possibly.
Stuff surrounding it, but that's not really Nessie's fault. I wonder, are we focusing on the theoretical, like, individual creature known as Nessie, or are we focusing on the whole legend surrounding her, and the whole industry?
Is it a her?
It's always traditionally thought to be a her.
Yeah.
Is it? Alright.
I'd say so, yeah.
I think
my opinion, if the monster does exist, we don't know enough about it to really focus on just
That's
the monster
true,
itself.
yeah.
I think we kind of have to delve into the surrounding culture. It does mean we can also discuss the amazing Family Nest TV show.
Oh my god, yeah.
What is this?
I can't remember the whole theme tune.
I've got it on my phone, but I won't play it just
called The
now.
Family Nest. Yeah, it was basically, you remember it slightly better than I do, but basically the two children who lived near Loch Ness, and they would go down to the shore of Loch Ness and blow on their magic thistle whistles.
Yeah.
Oh god.
And that would call up members of the Family Nest, who were a whole family. It wasn't just one, it wasn't just Nessie, it was a family of Nesses.
Wow.
I remember almost nothing else about it.
Yeah, I don't remember all that much more about it than that.
And they went on adventures? Or just
they
chatted to them?
A bit of both, I think.
Alright.
I can't remember really. Well, there was their father who was called Mr. McToot, who was like a very like stereotypically Scottish Highland man.
Alright.
And then there was this professor called Professor Doomkop who was constantly trying to find the Nessies, like trying to get proof that they existed.
That's a nice little
So yeah.
side story. They're always missing each other, I'm guessing.
Our culture is a bit of a joke, really, isn't it?
If you look at no. If you look at every culture, it's a little jokey.
Yeah.
Cultural identity is a little silly.
I feel like we should put the family nest on here as well, but I don't know. Because it came up in conversation, we've probably said about as much of it as we
are going to talk
know
about it.
We have to go back and re-watch them to actually be able to
true.
say any more about it.
We can cancel that in for the future. Maybe one of us can do some research or something.
Maybe.
But anyway, so we've now got the situation where we have to decide which is better, the city of Berlin or Nessie.
Well, my inclination, although I kind of like all the lore surrounding Nessie, is that, well, Berlin definitely exists.
Yeah.
Yeah. As far as we know, Berlin exists.
Yes.
So
Yeah, that's true.
It has to be a
points
slight
to yes.
advantage, I would say.
Yeah. I think you're right.
I would definitely put the city of Berlin. As much as I think Nessie's very good and lots of positives,
Yeah.
I really like the city of Berlin, and I like the culture and what it stands for. So I've definitely put Berlin above Nessie.
I would agree with that.
Okay.
And that's no slight on Nessie. We're going to have to make some tough decisions.
Oh, definitely,
for this
yeah. We're not
podcast,
saying
so-
Nessie is bad, just
No.
not as
Of
good
course
as Berlin.
It's sometimes a good real thing is better than a good fictional thing.
Yes. I think.
But a good fictional thing is better than
I
a
mean,
bad.
there's
real
many
thing.
criteria by which we can judge things.
Yes,
and
exactly.
that we're going to run into a lot of problems when we're trying to make these decisions. But like,
A lot of arguments.
reality is kind of a good metric to judge something.
Yeah, exactly. But I know Nessie's still good.
Yes, indeed. And so the thing that I am bringing today is Piers Morgan, who goes right at the bottom of the list.
Cool, sounds good.
Now, we come to the second section of our podcast, which I like to call Cram Session.
Oh,
Which is when we pick a random thing that we don't know very much about, and we spend 5 minutes researching it, collectively or individually.
okay.
Then we come back together and decide where it should go on our list of things. So
Okay.
we need to pick a thing. We have a random thing already written down here, which we know a little bit about, but not very much, which is Switzerland. It's a very European sort of
So far.
Eurocentric, lots of things so far, but
Yeah.
we'll get into other continents
We've got to
eventually.
make the most
Yeah.
of it while we can.
Yep.
Yes, that's true. So we're now going to spend 5 minutes researching Switzerland on our electronic devices or whatever we have.
Okay.
I'll set a timer and we can reconvene in 5 minutes. Go! Well,
Oh,
5 minutes are up.
Switzerland.
So, what do we know about Switzerland?
So much.
Yeah.
Well, the flag's a big plus.
Hey!
yeah, good.
I think that's the special.
Yeah, so
dear.
I found this site Expatica, which has a bunch of facts about Switzerland. I guess it's for
Right.
expats.
Mm-hmm.
And for the first few, I was like, oh my god, this sounds like the best country in the world. But then it's also got this weird sort of like not militaristic, but like slightly like I don't know,
Conservative?
slightly paranoid side to it. Where they've got enough nuclear bunkers, it says there, to put the entire population in nuclear bunkers, which is a bit insane. Oh, and they also have roads into the country rigged to blow up.
That's a fact I knew, that
Yeah.
all the roads into Switzerland have got basically bombs ready to go off to basically
never heard
enclose
of
them
that.
in. That they can actually basically totally make themselves like self-sufficient and protected from any invaders because they're surrounded. So
I never knew that.
yeah,
Yeah, so it's one of the happiest countries in the world,
that's good
apparently.
Yeah.
because of all those nuclear
It's
bunkers.
got a great life expectancy, second only to Japan, apparently.
Oh,
And
Okay.
it sounds awesome. It looks really pretty, the snowy mountains and
Oh,
everything.
it is very nice. I mean, I should clarify, I have been there once, a long time ago, so I wouldn't say I knew a lot about the place, though. I basically visited CERN, the physics
Oh, they've got
laboratory in
that
the
there.
mountains. Well, actually, it overlaps the Swiss-French border, if I remember rightly. It's right up that end of Switzerland anyway. But so yes, I've been there once. And I've sort of travelled through Geneva on my way there and back, but I haven't really spent any time in Switzerland other than that. But yes, it is a very pretty place. And it is a very highly developed place. It seems like a good place to
It
live.
does seem like a good place to live. Although there's just a few weird little things that put me off. Like they've got a lot of guns apparently, although their gun crime rate is quite low.
I've heard that too. Apparently, I think almost every man of military age has his own gun and is expected
and also
to
they
maintain
have
it. And
military service
Yes.
compulsory.
Ah.
which would rule out me living there completely immediately.
Yeah.
But that's just because I'm a weird, like, hippie.
No, I am too.
Yeah, but we bring our own personal biases to this.
Yeah.
So we've got to accept that.
Yeah.
Be upfront about it.
Totally. They're very peace-loving. They haven't been to war since
Yeah,
1815.
certainly seems like it. But it's like they're ready for it.
Yeah.
They're ready for some shit to go down.
It's an
They're
interesting thing that it's weird. You'd almost expect a country that seems that paranoid about war to have actually been involved in a war, but instead they haven't been in 200 years.
It's kind of like people who've trained in martial arts. They don't just get into random like brawls in a pub usually.
No, I think that's true.
Like, it's a great analogy, but
No, I think it makes sense actually. And yeah, they seem to be kind of like they want peace, but they're also realistic.
Part of a good defense is knowing when not to like start a war or get involved in a war.
Well, that's the thing. I suppose if you're genuinely concerned enough about your country's well-being, that's a good incentive to not start a war or get involved in one unless you really need to.
And obviously there's moral issues around not getting involved in certain things.
Hopefully that comes into things, yeah.
It's a very complicated issue.
I mean, to be honest, their kind of outlook on and policy on sort of like peace and neutrality is potentially guided by their history as a country, which I don't really know much about, but I'm guessing with them sort of being based in the middle of Europe with Germany, France, and is it Belgium and another
Probably.
country?
That's probably
having all these bigger countries surrounding them that they knew that they couldn't pick on one side or they might have been flattened by the other sort of thing. So, and also they've had a policy of being like a very banking sort of positive kind of country, so they've done a lot of business with everyone around them. There's that whole stuff of them having Nazi gold in a lot of their banks, so don't know how serious that is, but
no one knew it. I don't know whether it's still the case now, but no one knew what was in Swiss banks. That was the point of them. I think they were so big on anonymity and privacy for their customers. If you wanted to hide money, that was where you would.
It's almost like a little sort of neutral zone in the world where you can just go and like they won't judge you for like having Nazi gold or just like how I just did 5 minutes of research now I feel like I know exactly
everything
what it's like.
But
it's like, you know, the neutral zone in Man in the High Castle, if anyone's seen that out there. It's just like not lawless, but they have their own laws there and they're not bothered about what's going on outside. They just look after themselves. It's probably unfair, but no, I think we know everything about Switzerland now.
Yeah.
So I think we can make a judgment probably.
I spent at least 4 of those 5 minutes reading the Wikipedia page about Switzerland, so based on
I spent
that,
about 1, but then I thought both of those guys are going to read it as well, so I went to a different website.
You know us too well, Alex.
Yeah. I didn't know that it's officially the Swiss Confederation.
No,
I didn't know that.
One thing I do remember is I liked the food in Switzerland. This is going to be a recurring theme with me, obviously, because I've already said I liked the food and drink in Berlin, and now I'm saying I like the food and drink in Switzerland as well. They have nice cheeses, nice cream cakes.
Do they do the cheese fondues as well?
I think so. I don't really like that sort of thing, but they make good watches and things like that as well. Someone who used to be interested in clockworks. Yes.
And army knives as well.
Of course,
The best, I might say. Or the most popular, at least.
Yeah, it's a good lot of things to make.
They do have like a lot of like the stuff that they craft is like got quite a big reputation in the world. Watches.
I guess once they invented the army knife, they could use that to craft
a lot
of other stuff.
Yeah.
Like watches. They probably invented the army knife and went, what can we use this for? We've got a screwdriver on it so we can screw in the screws of the watch. We've got a knife, a file so we can file down the case.
Yeah, that's true.
Like that.
Engrave it.
It's a good way to go. Invent something first that helps you invent other stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm getting the sense that you maybe weren't as in love with it as you are with Berlin.
No, that's true. You sense correctly. It didn't have the same feel to it to me. I just love the whole feel of Berlin and the atmosphere. I guess it's not all something that you can be specific about. It's something about just the feel of the place. Which I didn't really feel in Switzerland to the same extent.
You would rather live in Berlin, probably.
Yeah, definitely.
And having read some stuff about it, I probably would as well. Because Berlin's pretty liberal and nice and has good living standards as well.
Yes.
I think. So maybe we're leaning towards Berlin on this one for what's better.
I think so. I'd say for me, Switzerland, I've only actually travelled through it via train and it's beautiful scenery and that kind of stuff. But it has always struck me as like a slightly more conservative place overall as a country goes kind of thing. Like probably quite neutral as they go, but still I think potentially conservative conservative. Like, I don't know the state of like gay marriage or that kind of thing.
I think
or...
if I wanted to pick one of those places to go, like on paper, Switzerland may be, ranked higher in a lot of things, but if I wanted to go somewhere for enjoyment, I would definitely pick Berlin.
Yeah.
I feel like you could have a lot more fun in Berlin than you could have in Switzerland. Not that that's necessarily what's important. I feel like we'd be really judgmental here, judging other people's cities and countries, I guess.
That's the whole point.
That's the
That's
nature.
the whole
what
point,
this is
isn't it?
about. We need to do this. Someone needs to do this. Damn it.
If someone said between,
If we don't,
yeah,
we will.
it's funny because if someone said between Germany and Switzerland, I might put Switzerland above Germany potentially. But if it was saying Berlin against Switzerland, I kind of want
Berlin's
Berlin
my
because I
favourite.
like
Berlin's
Berlin.
my favourite bit of Germany that I've been
Yeah,
to. So
yeah, me as well. And just like Berlin, I know we're going to Berlin. We've already had that, but like you always feel like something's going on. There's always
Yeah.
so much
I think
stuff happening in the city. It's
Yeah.
amazing.
Okay, I'm sensible. Probably want to put Switzerland below Berlin.
Yeah.
Above Nessie or below Nessie, do you think? Is it-
I think because they've done a lot of stuff for peace. Switzerland.
I think it's a good country
They
overall,
make
I would
good-
say.
It seems that way.
They make good watches. As much as like Nessie's maybe brought joy to some people, I feel like Switzerland's probably doing more in the world.
Yeah,
And
Switzerland
as a
probably
whole.
is,
Nessie
yeah.
may also have eaten people. If it
Potentially.
exists.
Yeah.
We don't know,
Yeah,
so-
and Nessie's one probably fictional creature. Switzerland is a country of like 8 million.
Yes.
So.
Yeah, I think we know that Switzerland have quite a drive for peace. We're not sure
Yes.
about Nessie's
Yeah,
policies,
we don't know,
Yeah.
we don't know her stance.
Okay, yeah, I guess, yeah.
LGBT rights and such.
Switzerland.
Switzerland's reasonably liberal.
Oh, that's
According
good.
to what I
That's
just
good.
looked up.
Okay, that's good then. Sorry for saying I don't know how conservative they are, but
It's okay. I don't know if they actually have full gay marriage, but yeah, sort that out and maybe we'll come back to Switzerland.
yeah. Oh, they also send people to go guard the Pope as well.
Do they?
Yeah, the Swiss Guard.
Oh,
Okay.
yes.
Yeah, that's an interesting little factoid they do, but why
That's
not?
Nice of them.
It's very strange, but okay.
Fair enough. Okay, so that was cram session.
Yay.
We decided where Switzerland goes, and it's below Berlin but above Nessie. And now we move on to our third section, the thing about that. My least favourite name for a section, but I had to settle because I couldn't think of anything better. If you can think of anything better, then send it in to wherever our email address ends up being. Basically, in the thing about that, we have a theme, and we each bring a thing that relates to that theme, a thing that is about that. And today, because this is the first episode and breakfast is the first meal of the day, it seems only fitting that we go with breakfast as our theme. So, who wants to say their breakfast related thing first?
I can start if you want.
Okay, go
Mine, a breakfast related thing, is breakfast in bed.
Breakfast in bed.
Yes, that's right. The thing we all crave, the thing we all want, breakfast in bed. I think it's one of those things where like most people, I believe, sort of like the idea of breakfast in bed. Like usually it's couples. It's the kind of thing that's like one member of the couple sort of says, "Oh, do you want breakfast in bed?" And then it's like, "Oh, that's so nice of you." Like it's like a birthday present or a really big treat for Valentine's Day or that kind of thing. It's something that, it's like portrayed in films as that kind of thing. But you also think of all the issues that come from breakfast in
Yes,
bed, all the
yes.
crumbs, all the mess.
So many crumbs.
Oh, I get told off if I drop toast crumbs in the bed.
Oh, so you have breakfast in bed?
No, actually, it's not
sometimes.
really like It's not really like late night toast I have in bed.
Whoa.
I haven't had breakfast in bed in years. Actually, I think I used to sometimes have it.
Well, Mum
But
used
when-
to
yes.
used to make it for us.
Mum
most
used to bring our
days,
breakfast in on.
which is
trays.
I'm not sure is normal, but
No,
it was
but
nice.
Very nice.
it was nice.
Yeah.
Except when I sometimes I would fall back asleep after the breakfast was brought, and then I would wake up a bit later to the soft lapping noise of one of the cats finishing up the milk.
Yeah, I mean,
So there were pitfalls to
there are
breakfast in
pitfalls
bed.
all over the place with
Definitely.
breakfast
Yes.
in bed.
Yeah.
Like I don't want to tear it
Spillages,
apart,
crumbs.
It's a
All
thing
sorts.
because it's a treat, but we don't realise the risks we're taking.
but- Exactly.
Yeah.
The messy situation we could be stepping in at any time. So.
I know it seems like a good idea. I agree. It's fraught with issues. Yeah, I used to fall back asleep sometimes as well, and like there'd be buttered toast, and the butter would just seep into the toast. And most people kind of like when that happens, but I didn't.
No, that's
like
interesting because Laura thinks I'm mad because whenever she's having toast with butter, she'll butter it quickly while the toast's still hot so that the butter melts. Whereas I wait for the toast
Yeah,
to cool down
do
a
the
bit
same.
because I don't want the butter
know
to all
what-
melt into it. I don't know.
I'm a melter.
Yeah,
Yeah,
fair
most
enough.
people seem
I'm
to
on
be.
team melt.
I think Yeah.
Hashtag Team Melt.
We're straying from the point now, I think.
I don't know, because this might tie into mine a little bit, because certain breakfast foods, you don't want to leave them, like cereal with milk. It just gets horrible after a while.
And one of the things is it's a tool for like showing if someone's rich as well. Is that they'll be shown having breakfast in bed always. Like if ever you see like rich person in their bedroom, it's always having breakfast in bed kind of thing.
How often do you see rich people in their bedroom?
In films, or if you're breaking into someone's rich person's house during breakfast time.
Yeah, it's the best time to break in.
Well, they never expect it. They expect it late at night, but like...
Yeah.
Yeah,
they're
not in broad daylight while they're having breakfast.
But yeah, so it's one of those things, which is an interesting thing to note, I guess.
Yeah,
breakfast in bed.
It's true. You've brought quite a nuanced subject there, and I feel like it's quite tricky to know where to place it.
So.
Like, I feel like you should have the first stab at where to place it, and then we can dispute it if we want.
I think it actually goes below Nessie.
I was thinking the same thing.
That's where I would place it personally. I think.
It's because of the practicalities.
Yeah, I think
the theory of it is all well and good.
I think it's not. I just think it never probably really lives up to what you would hope for.
Yeah.
Like you think it would be so amazing to not have to get out of bed and make breakfast, but to be honest, by the time you're actually eating the breakfast, you've woken up a bit anyway. The prospect of having to get out of bed doesn't seem as harrowing as it did when you first woke up.
It's the waking up that's the really existentially painful.
And you have to do that even just to eat the breakfast. Yeah.
I think once in a blue moon, maybe for a significant other or significant other doing it for you, it's a lovely thing. Just to show how I'm getting up earlier than you are just to make you breakfast that you don't even have to get out to get. That's lovely. But apart from that, I don't think it's a regular thing to have, really.
Yeah.
Breakfast is a good thing for getting you out of bed, so...
Yeah, that's true. It's a good excuse to get out of bed. If you've had breakfast, like you've just got a big stretch of not eating ahead of you before lunch, and why would you want to get out for that?
Yeah.
Anyway, I'll go next.
Yeah.
So my one is Coco Pops. Specifically a bowl of Coco Pops, because... As the saying goes, I'd rather have a bowl of Coco Pops.
But than what?
Yes, exactly. Like, it's not always clear in the context of the adverts. Like,
I'm guessing every other cereal in the world.
Yeah, but like...
That's probably what they meant, but they should have really been more specific.
Yeah, but now
maybe it fits in the song.
Now we have this endeavour, we can actually say when that's a valid thing to say.
I'd rather have a bowl of Coco Pops than Piers Morgan, but...
I mean, I think we can all say that.
I think probably.
Some confidence.
Yeah. I don't like Coco Pops.
Oh no! Oh, this is going to be the first big dispute.
I don't mind Coco Pops. I think they're all right.
I don't like chocolate-based cereals.
No, I'm not that keen on them either.
I like Coco Pops quite a lot, but I'm willing to concede they're not everyone's thing.
Bowl of cereal.
Yeah. They're good. I could eat a lot of them, but I'm not always in the mood for them. When I am in the mood for them, I could probably eat a whole packet in one day. And they're a cereal that you can eat at any time of day. If you like them, I understand
That's
if you
true.
don't like them. Like, they're not like you wouldn't have Weetabix. Well, you might actually have had Weetabix at all times of day. What am I talking about? I like cereal. There's no getting around that.
Cereal's good.
Yeah, but Coco Pops, they're a good one. I would put them in the top 5 cereals for me.
Because they're a Nestle cereal, aren't they?
No, they're Kellogg's.
Are they Kellogg's?
Yeah,
Alright, good. Well, that's makes them better, because Nestle's more evil.
Yeah, that's true. I think when we come to ranking corporations, they'll be near the bottom.
Yeah.
But we're not there yet. Yeah, Coco Pops. There's a few things that I have an issue with Coco Pops. One of them...
Sorry, carry on.
No, go on.
I was just going to wonder whether you were going to bring up the disastrous Choco Crisp.
That's what I was wondering as well.
I mean, there's that. And I don't even know if I should include that, because that wasn't Coco Pops.
That's a good point, actually, yes.
For a while, in case you don't know, they replaced Coco Pops with Choco Krispies. They were the same thing, but they just renamed them.
Mm-hmm.
And the advert, which used to go, I'd rather have a bowl of Coco Pops, turned to, I'd rather have a bowl of Choco Krispies, which annoyed me to no end, because for one thing, you don't need to rename Coco Pops. It's a perfectly fine name.
Yeah.
I don't understand why they felt the need to do that.
They switched back very quickly.
Yeah, they did. That's true, and I'm eternally grateful that they did. And I feel like there's some extra credit should be given to them for recognizing their error there. But they just made the song not work at all, because previously they had. I mean, to be fair, they'd made Coco into 3 syllables, which is a bit.
I was going to say it actually. The number of syllables actually fits better with chocolate crispies, but the emphasis is
all wrong.
in completely the wrong places.
You can go co. You can make cocoa into 3 syllables like that. It's
Yes.
fine, but you can't emphasize the P's in crispies because that's
They don't actually have peas
no.
in
It
them.
sounds like peas then.
Yeah.
Choco Crispies. Yeah, we're not talking about Choco Crispies. That we can bring them to a separate
Fair enough. But
discussion later.
I
on.
will say though, actually, for me, that's one of the positives for Coco Pops because it makes it more interesting and a backstory of the story. It's like if you think about every other kind of cereal, they haven't got that kind of controversy, at least in my mind. That at least you can sort of talk about Coco Pops and like, remember that time they would change their name to Choco Crispies? What the hell were they talking about? Sort of thing. There's at least got that little.
Yeah,
I mean,
a little bit of intrigue.
sometimes like issues they've had at the time actually make them a bit more interesting
That's
later
true.
on.
It contributes to the rich history.
Yeah.
But there's like a weird. I don't understand their adverts anymore because they had a monk. They have a monkey.
Yeah.
Sorry, I probably should just stop talking about Coco Pops. Hold on.
No, that's the topic of this part of the show.
I've been talking. I feel like I've been talking for like 10 minutes. But
I don't think
like,
you have.
there's a monkey, but there's also other animals. They started putting other animals into the mix, and I don't understand how they all fit together. I don't understand the lore of Coco Pops anymore.
Because like, is it an alligator that's
yeah, there's
stealing
like
it?
an alligator, I think now, which like
It's a monkey and it's kids.
anyway, yeah, but like that's all by the by, I suppose. It's all part of the package. There's just things about it that don't add up.
Mm-hmm.
But also, one last thing about Coco Pops, because this is the most I'm going to be able to talk about Coco Pops in my life, probably. So I need to get it all out now.
All the reason this podcast was made, just
Yeah.
so you could have this discussion about
But,
Coco
like,
Pops.
they used to sell. I don't think they do now, but they used to sell it on the fact that it turns the milk brown, which is a weird thing to sell it on because it's not the most appetizing thing. Like,
No.
and there's something about cereal milk, like milk that's been in cereal for a while, that's really disgusting to me. If you pour like milk on cereal and leave it for like 10 minutes, I don't think I could eat it because it's just gone
No,
all
I know what
mushy
you mean.
and horrible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You've got to basically.
There's a sweet spot, I think.
There's like a ticking timer as soon as you pour the milk on with most cereal, and you're like, oh god, I've got to eat this like before it gets all horrible.
Yeah.
I think though you want the milk to saturate a little bit in the
A
cereal,
little
just
bit,
a tiny
yeah,
bit,
yeah,
but you need to finish it.
Yeah,
Before
but
that
like
rest
Coco
happens.
Pops just basically, and this might be their downfall in this scenario. They basically just turn into tiny little Coco Pops, like, and they just like dissolve almost.
Oh really?
Like if you leave the milk long enough, and I don't think that's a selling point personally. But anyway, so I think I've almost like taught myself out of Coco Pops, but I feel like personally I would put Coco Pops probably above Nessie, below Switzerland, maybe above Switzerland, but I think that's too crazy. I don't
think-
know.
Alright.
Yeah, I think I would probably put them above Breakfast in Bed, but maybe still below Nessie. Or I suppose maybe I quite like Coco Pops, to be honest. They're all right.
But do you like them as much as Nessie?
That's the question I'm trying to ask myself. I think we've established that Breakfast in Bed isn't really all it's cracked up to be, so
Yes.
they can
I
definitely
think-
go above
yeah.
Breakfast in Bed because they're all right. I'm not really a big cereal person the way you are, I guess. There are other breakfast foods that I prefer, but
Cereal's
Cereal.
my thing.
Coco Pops are all right. I don't mind Coco Pops.
Again, I don't like Coco Pops
Yeah.
as a food group. I don't like, but then I do kind of like this little checkered history that it's got a little bit.
Yeah.
That's one saving grace, I guess, for me for it.
guess,
It's an interesting cereal.
Is it as interesting as the legend surrounding Nessie?
I would say I like Nessie more than Coco Pops.
Yeah.
I will give you that it's better than Breakfast in Bed, though probably I would say no. But I'm happy to be diplomatic and say okay, it's
Cool.
better than Breakfast in Bed for you guys.
Okay.
But I like Nessie more.
Okay, for now I'm going to put it below Nessie because
Okay.
I'm outvoted here. So we do have a mechanism later on which may allow us to adjust things. But we'll get
wow.
to that later.
That's
Anyway,
interesting, intriguing.
now to our final thing of the
Oh, yes.
episode. It's over to James.
Now, keeping with the Scottish theme we've put in place with Nessie, I'm going to go with porridge as my thing.
Bowl of porridge.
Yes.
I like porridge. I think porridge is mostly pretty good. It's tasty and very filling, it's healthy, it's quite easy to make, it's quite cheap to buy the oats. It goes well with, well, there's a whole argument about whether it should be sweet or whether it should be salty, of course. Salty all the way, in my opinion.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow, okay.
No, just milk and salt
Oh,
is all
God.
that should go in it.
Milk
But
and salt.
a lot of people like it with, sweet things as well, like jam or
Honey.
honey or something like
Syrup.
that. So it's, I guess, that could work in its favour. It's a versatile
True,
food.
yeah.
But
Oh.
it has a dark side.
Oh god,
I
it
don't
was very intense when you said that.
I don't know whether you've ever made porridge from scratch yourself. You know, whether you've used one of the microwavable type ones or whether it's just you've had it at Granny's or
How do you make
whatever.
it from
Well, just
pot.
with the oats, just put it in,
right, yeah,
in
I
a
thought you meant,
pot and then
grow the
you
oats?
don't have to
Grow the
grow the oats yourself. No, I mean
Get a
you could do
horse
that.
or
That's only for the
Seed it in
more
it.
dedicated
Milk the cow.
porridge aficionado.
Do you use
really,
milk
advice.
or water?
Milk.
Okay.
Yeah, we
Not insane.
we use.
Some people use water, don't they?
Yeah, you can. I think you can do it using water, but no. What I was getting to was, it's all well and good. The cooking part is quite easy. The eating the porridge part is good.
Yeah. I like that.
But then comes the washing up.
Oh god, yeah, you're right.
Have you ever tried to wash a porridge pot?
Yeah,
pretty stubborn,
I think
isn't it?
the key
It
is
can be-
probably just to do it as quickly as
Yes.
possible, right?
I think that's true. Or at least soak the pot in hot water straight away so it doesn't
Yeah.
get too stuck to
Because
the
it basically
outside.
becomes like a material that you could make models out of or something. It's like
Yes,
paper
yes,
mache
basically.
eventually. It just hardens into like
Yes,
rock.
yes. And the other downside to porridge, I don't know whether it's fair to blame porridge for this, is that some of the instant microwavable porridges are kind of a bit disgusting.
Yeah.
I can't have the golden syrup porridge oats. They're too sweet for me.
Yeah, I would find them too sweet.
I feel like
just
I
like
probably would have liked them when I was younger, but now they're just overwhelming.
I just like the plain porridge with milk and a bit of salt.
I like
That's what
sugar.
I like.
Mm.
Sugar's better.
But yeah, either's good. And it's traditional Scottish.
It
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Here's the weird place I am in with porridge, is because I like porridge. I like the idea of porridge. I like the fact that it's really healthy. It's really good for you.
True.
It's a very simple breakfast food. I think there's no negatives to eating porridge whatsoever, and people should be encouraged to it. But whenever I've tried to make myself eat porridge or tried to introduce it into my diet, I don't actually. I can't eat it. It's annoying.
I have a similar thing. I can eat it for a few days. But sometimes I'll go I'm gonna have porridge every morning from now on, and I can't keep it up. Eventually I get sick of it. I really enjoy it for the first few days.
I have to admit, I don't eat it as much as I want to, or as much as I probably should.
Is it one of those things that you're like?
I think it's maybe one of these things that seems like an amazing idea in theory. It even seems pretty good when you actually do it, but something stops you from doing it very often.
For me, porridge is kind of like when you're a kid and you don't want to eat your vegetables, but you know they're good for you, kind of thing. They're really good stuff. But and it's just for me and my taste kind of thing. I wish I could eat porridge all the time because I know how good it is for you, and it's annoying that I can't. It's not something my tongue likes. If that makes sense.
Yeah,
I know what you mean.
I enjoy it sometimes, but yeah, you can overdose on porridge. Not literally. I think that's everything that's happened.
Not as far as I know.
Very tough. But it's annoying because I wish I could have it more, kind of thing. I wish my body likes it and craves it, but
It's so annoying that bodies don't crave the things that are good for you.
Yeah, it is
I
really.
don't understand how that evolves. I guess we just evolved to the point where we can fake things being good for you when they're actually
No, I
bad
think
for
it's
you.
more the fact that very fatty, very sugary things are good for you in small amounts, and in
guess.
nature
And we
you
used
could only
to-
really get them in
we
small
used to
amounts. So you
eat,
evolved to
cram
cram as
them
much
in
in as possible because
right,
it might
yeah.
be ages until you get another chance.
Yeah.
Whereas today they're so plentiful that you can,
overdose.
easily.
So porridge. Where's that? I mean, you two seem definitely more positive on it than Coco Pops.
I would say definitely
Yeah.
above Coco Pops.
Definitely above Coco Pops. The next thing up is Nessie, and that's a hell of a battle because they're both Scottish.
They're pretty
Battle for
Scottish.
Scotland.
Yeah.
See, I don't
Scottish
know.
problem.
I'd be tempted to put it above Nessie, but I may be the only one there.
I
I think.
think I would probably put it above Nessie.
I'm kind of thinking just because the health benefits that porridge
Health
gives out
benefits.
are
And
so
also we
good.
had, as we established earlier, the fact that it's definitely real is probably a
Yeah.
positive as well.
Yeah, that's
Poor Nessie being brought about that's your main issue, Nessie. You're not real.
She should appear in more photos then.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she should.
Pop her head up more than once, like a
Oh.
century.
I do
ages
love the mystery of Nessie and the kind
Yeah.
of that
Yeah.
thing. There is I think we're kind of
ago. I mean, there's that element is definitely lacking in porridge.
porridge is just porridge at the end of the day.
Porridge doesn't really it doesn't
Or
even
the
have the
beginning.
chocolate Christmas type controversy in its past. as far as I
True.
know.
I don't think they... Oh, it has the spelling controversy.
Of course, yes.
Which is... No, I'm reasonably Scottish. Not massively, but like... I can't get my head around spelling it with an A. Like
No, me neither.
P-O-R-A-G-E. That's
No.
just wrong.
Well, that's not the Scottish way, is it? I
Is it?
thought
I
that was the English way, and
Oh, right.
double R
Is it?
I-D-G-E
Okay,
was the
maybe I'm
Scottish
more
way.
secure in my
Oh,
identity
maybe
than I
not.
thought. I always thought porridge was Scottish and...
Actually, I could be wrong about this. I can't remember. I always thought it was spelt with the I-D-G-E until one day I saw Dad writing it down, and he spelt it with the A.
Wow.
And Dad's the most English one in our family, so
Yeah.
I kind of...
that's-
I guess I always thought that was the English
Well,
spelling, but I could be wrong.
Maybe there is a mystery element to porridge after all.
Maybe.
I might have to look this
Can't-
up, actually.
yeah. Yeah, it's spelled porridge or
that's
porridge or
My voice is horrible today.
porridge without the D. There's also, you can say it, or parridge.
Okay, well, we may have gone down a cul-de-sac here.
Yeah, let's not focus on the spelling, I guess.
I think you could be right, Alex. Scots porridge spells it with the A.
Oh, well, that's
Oh.
definitive. There's basically
Yeah.
Scots. So.
I don't know if that changes our opinion. So we're thinking above Nessie. We're
I
thinking
would-
It's tricky.
I would probably put it above
I
Nessie.
probably would as well.
Well, then the majority wins.
What about Switzerland?
I don't know.
Can we
Switzerland's,
justify putting porridge above Switzerland?
Switzerland's pretty
I
good.
think Switzerland would be pretty insulted if we did
I
that.
mean, someone's going to be insulted by this eventually.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
if they haven't already been.
I don't know if I can actually stand there with good grace and say that a bowl of porridge is better than Switzerland.
At some point, there's
Something
gonna
will
be.
be.
Something
Oh,
that you
yeah.
have to say is better than Switzerland. That's
Well, we've
not
all-
a country.
Yeah.
Or a city.
Yeah, but I
Yeah,
don't
I
think
suppose.
porridge is that thing.
Okay, fair enough.
Okay,
So,
I'm happy for it to go between Switzerland and Nessie.
Okay.
I mean, Nessie would be happy because she's surrounded by cereal now.
Does
Sorry,
Nessie like
Coco
that?
Coco Pops and porridge. So,
Oh, yeah.
well, she gets breakfast at least. So
Yeah,
that's pretty good.
True.
That's her sorted for breakfast
for now.
for now.
She's happy.
Yeah.
Who knows what will
She's sort of in the
come
middle.
along next time to...
Is she in the middle?
Well, we'll run down our order.
Oh, yes.
This is the section that I like to call the order of things, which was a potential name for this whole podcast until someone else took it. But yes, let's run down it, and we'll go round
Okay.
the group, starting with me, and we'll do one at a time and read down from the
Okay.
top. The best thing in the world currently is the city of Berlin.
Then Switzerland.
Then porridge.
Then Nessie.
Then Coco Pops.
Then breakfast in bed.
And the worst thing in the world currently is Piers Morgan.
Yep.
Yay!
Yay.
So that was our first episode ever of Everything versus Everything. I think we've made some good progress today. This
Yeah,
is
I
a
think
good
so.
start to our list. It's only going to get more ridiculous from here.
Yes.
So if you want to
Wow.
hear that process continue, make sure you tune in next time we record an episode of Everything. Well, don't tune in when we're recording it, because...
You won't be able to hear it
Yeah.
yet.
Well,
Wait till it's been edited and goes
yeah,
up.
it'd be weird because we'd have to go to where we are and then like listen in secretly, and that'd be
And that would rate very low on the list.
yeah. You don't want to be a low lister. You need to come up with better terminology for these things. You don't want to be a bottom feeder.
Hey.
What we call people a bottom.
Yeah.
Anyway, so that's it, and I don't have a good way to end this, so I'm just going to say bye. Say bye, everyone.
Bye.
I don't know why I waved.
Well, that was the first episode of Everything versus Everything. Hope you enjoyed it. I did, actually. It was fun. Today's guests were Ewan Gilmore and James Perry, and it was created by me, Alex Perry. I also wrote the music. The Everything vs. Everything logo was created by Andy Keith. Visit us at everythingtheeverything.wordpress.com. Not much more to say at the moment, but stay tuned in the future. We'll do more stuff. Bye!